Hello everyone, TylerTProductions here with my still very new series, Tyler T's Amateur Album Reviews, and today's episode is episode 3, and I'm continuing with my starting with the Silverchair albums, and I'm on today's is Neon Ballroom, and Neon Ballroom is actually my second favorite Silverchair album, and my second favorite album overall out of every single album that I've listened to so far. From any band, and so I'm gonna probably get going on it, but before yes, just go over Neon Ballroom, the Silverchair's third album, released in 1999, in early 1999. It's actually, what's great, I just want to, before I start the songs, it's a great departure from Freak Show, because the transition from Freak Show to Neon Ballroom is really actually, it's really great, to the point of almost saying, is this the same band? Obviously, it still sounds a lot alike in the sense that his voice still, for the most part, sounds still exactly the same. I mean, it's only 2 years difference between Freak Show and Neon Ballroom, but the album as a whole is mass overhaul, more orchestral. There's songs like on Freak Show that were kind of orchestral were Petrol and Chlorine and Cemetery, and you know, that was kind of like an indication, like, oh, you know, they're experimenting, what's going to come out of this, and Neon Ballroom came out of that, and also came out of, sadly, Daniel's depression and anorexia around that time. And a lot of songs cover that, and are actually about very depressing topics. So the album as a whole is probably, instead of more aggressive like Freak Show was, it's more depressing and more self-contained, in the sense of just not wanting to be associated with anyone, just because, not because you're angry, but because you're just sheltered. And I don't know, I'm rambling, but yeah, so and the difference between this album and every other Silverchair album is that every other Silverchair album, the music, parts of the music were actually created first, and then the lyrics were added. Daniel added the lyrics, but this was different. Neon Ballroom, poetry. Daniel was writing poetry in early 1998, and that began to evolve, and the songs were actually built off of the poems and the lyrics, instead of vice versa like it usually was. So you can actually really tell that difference too, I think, because of the amazing poetry. I mean, I think Daniel writes amazing lyrics, period, especially Neon Ballroom and Diorama, but Neon Ballroom is probably, at least lyrically, probably the best Silverchair album, speaking. So I'm going to get started on Neon Ballroom. There are 12 songs, so one less than Freak Show, and I'm just going to start it off with the first song. Okay. Emotion Sickness. Now I'm just going to actually begin with, this is my favorite song on the whole album. This song is, I would say, the most orchestral, definitely. But there are a lot of songs on here that are very orchestral. The reason why I like this song so much is mostly because of, I think, not so much the lyrics, but yes, the orchestral elements in it. And I also love the guitar solo after it. It's combining like heavy guitar elements and amazing like orchestral pieces, and just fusing them together. The song is one of the best Silverchair I've ever done, and even more amazing live. Daniel's vocals in this are really, like, you know, he gets high-pitched, and it's, mind you, his voice was very fragile at the time, or his body was, and he couldn't do a lot of extreme singing like he does on Diorama, but he still did a lot of great singing on Neon Ballroom, because he transitioned, you know, from mostly yelling and shouting on Freak Show to actually, like, singing. I mean, he still sang on Freak Show, don't get me wrong, but there was more yelling and screaming and more anger than. There's just more, I think, passion. You could really connect with a lot of these songs. So Emotion Sickness, basically the song is about the addiction to antidepressants, and Daniel was on antidepressants at the time around writing this, because he had massive depression. So and he became addicted. So a lot of people don't think you can get addicted to antidepressants, but you can. So I give Motion Sickness 5 out of 5 stars. Next song, Anthem for the Year 2000. I'm gonna actually start with saying I used to really not like this song. It's the first single release of Neon Ballroom, and it's a rock song. It's definitely a rock song. It's one that's a crowd pleaser, gets the crowd going, like, yeah, we are the youth. And I think, for the most part, that's why this song was created. Daniel actually did say in interviews that he wanted to make a song that could do something similar to what this song did when up to the point when they last played it live, which I think was 2003. This song is really a crowd pleaser, and it gets you, like, like, screw the system, rebelling against, society, oppression towards the youth. Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what I get from this song. Great rock song. I give Anthem for the Year 2004 out of 5 stars. Next song is Anna's song, Open Fire, and this was the second single released off of Neon Ballroom. I used to not like this song a lot, but it really grew on me, and it's actually one of my favorite off Neon Ballroom nowadays. Anna, as the song explains, Anna is, I guess you can say, the personification of anorexia nervosa, and Daniel, that's what the song is about. Daniel wrote this about his going through anorexia, and despite it being really sad and everything, it's actually hopeful towards the end. Kind of like you can get through it, but I never actually really had a huge connection to this song. Daniel actually didn't have anorexia due to just fashion or about his body. Like he said, he was actually quite the opposite. He was afraid of being too skinny, but he did it because he wanted to have control over something that no one could possibly have control over. He's the only one that could have control over his body, and his life was spiraling out of control, and then that was the only thing he could really control, and he controlled food intake. So I really like this song, and it's a really beautiful song. It really is, and the lyrics are really amazing and personal. I give Anna's song 5 out of 5 stars. Next song is Spawn Again. I'm going to start with Spawn Again. It was actually meant to be on Freak Show, as entitled as Spawn, I believe, but they actually, I shouldn't say it was meant to be on Freak Show. It was meant to be, it was started being written and recorded already around the Freak Show days, so like 3 years prior. But the song is basically, it's a vegan song. It's sticking up for the animals, but it's a very intense shout out, or not shout out, I should say, a very intense rage against factories, and basically telling, eat what you murder, and I think this song really is something really great. That's basically what the song is about, but it's very angry. This is one of the songs that stands out on Neon Ballroom, I think, just because it's definitely an angry song. This is more of a Freak Show-ish song. I mean, there are Neon Ballroom elements in it that make it part of this album, but it's, in my opinion, it's definitely a Freak Show song. But I mean, despite that, it still has a place on Neon Ballroom. Very great song, and even more great in live 1999 concerts are there, so you should check that song out live. I give Spawn Again 5 out of 5 stars. Next song is Miss You Love, and this is the third song released off of Neon Ballroom. So yeah, this song isn't about missing your love or something. Daniel wrote that as, like, the people who don't really understand what he intentionally wrote it about. He wrote it so people would think he wrote it like that to kind of like fool them or whatever, but he actually wrote it about not having that feeling of love anymore. So instead of like actually love as a person, it's love as like the emotion, but he doesn't miss it anymore, and he doesn't care, and he doesn't want it, and he's just done with it. Done away with it, I guess. a very, very emotional and sensual song it is, as most songs are on Neon Ballroom. I give Miss You Love 5 out of 5 stars. Next song is Dearest Helpless, and I want to start with saying I also really didn't like the song a whole bunch. Not the worst song on the album, I don't think, but Dearest Helpless isn't the greatest either. I believe it's about a significant other or a person that you're in love with, and I didn't really listen to it a whole lot, so I don't really know the whole definition of it, but that's basically what I get from this song. I do like the guitar a lot though, and I kind of like the, kind of sounds like a carnival at one part, but it sounds really cool, but besides that, it's not really that very, very great. It's not a standout on this album, I don't think so. I give Dearest Helpless 3 out of 5 stars. Do You Feel the Same? Now, what I really like about Do You Feel the Same is the guitar. The guitar in it is probably the best thing in the whole song. Way better than the vocals and lyrics, way better than the drums, way better than the bass, and any other electronical bits and pieces in it. I just love the guitar, and even the guitar solo. The guitar solo is one of my favorite Silverchair guitar solos. It's got a lot of groovy attitude. Think like the Door-ish groovy, but attitude like attitude like Freak, I guess. Or no, attitude like Slave, and grooviness like Door. And you get like this guitar that's hard but like really, you know, groovy at the same time, and I really, really like it. I used to absolutely hate the song. I used to rate it 2 out of 5 stars, but now I rate it 4 out of 5 stars. Black Tangled Heart. This song is very unique. It's got harps right in the beginning of it, so I think that's really, really cool. Black Tangled Heart, you can probably guess what that's about, but it's the lyrics in it. I love the lyrics, and I love the vocals. I love pretty much everything about the song really pieces together nicely, and it just creates this beautiful but haunting piece. And I just think that's something, if you can create something like that, then, and have it still be, you know, really intense but really sensual still, and emotional, then you've really done something awesome and amazing, because this song is just beautiful. I give Black Tangled Heart 5 out of 5 stars. Point of View. I never really liked Point of View that much. It was a time where Point of View was actually even worse than Do You Feel the Same, when Do You Feel the Same was only 2 out of 5 stars. Basically, my opinion is it's about, I think, I almost want to say, looking at someone's position from their point of view. I might be wrong on that, but I haven't listened to the song enough to really think about the meaning behind it, as I do with most Silverchair songs, but that's my take on it. But Point of View, I really like the drums in it. I think the drums are probably my favorite part in it. And I love how the song ends, actually. The way the song ends, I think, is really cool and very nicely done. I give Point of View 4 out of 5 stars. Satin Sheets. This is my least favorite song on the album, I believe. The reason being, there was a point where it was never worse than Point of View or Do You Feel the Same for me. It was actually better than them at one point, but now it's the worst song, just because it's kind of like Lie to Me. Lie to Me was punk song number 1. Punk song number 2 was a B-side that they did, and then this was like punk song number 3. This is a very punkish song, and this also kind of sort of doesn't fit on Neon Ballroom that much, but again, it's like a rock song, and rock punk. I still like the song. I still do appreciate it. It has its ups and downs. For me, not a whole lot of ups, but I mean, that's just my opinion on it. And I just never really liked punkish songs to begin with, so that's probably why. I mean, it might be a little biased, but so Satin Sheets, I give 3 out of 5 stars. Paint Pastel Princess. Now this is, I want to say, my third or second favorite on Neon Ballroom. Reason being, lyrics. All about the lyrics. And the orchestral elements, but mostly the lyrics. Lyrically speaking, I think this might be my favorite song on the album. For starters, Paint Pastel Princess, the alliteration in the title, and there's a lot of alliteration in the lyrics. For those of you who don't know what alliteration is, I hope you do, but in case you forgot, basically it's the repetition of the initial sounds, the Paint Pastel Princess, the P sound. I mean, it doesn't have to be the P, but whenever it repeats it a lot like that in a row. This song's about that when you take antidepressants, everything feels the same. There are no highs, like happy, like ee, and there are no lows, like I'm gonna kill myself. Well, antidepressants could cause you to be more depressed, but when they don't, they just make you neutral for the most part, and it's kind of just a gray area, and that in itself is kind of just depressing when you look at it. So that's what the song's about, and the orchestral elements, obviously, like I stated, amazing part. So this was actually also the fourth and last single release of Neon Ballroom. This was only a fan club release, just like Find a Way was on Frog Stomp. So it was hard to come by for people to find. I actually got it though. I found it, which is cool. I rate Paint Pastel Princess 5 out of 5 stars. Last song on the album, Steam Will Rise. I used to also not like this song. Neon Ballroom was interesting how it used to be one of my least favorite albums, and it's one of my favorite albums now. Least favorite, at least, Silverchair speaking, and then one of my most favorite, Silverchair speaking and period. I think this is a great closing song for the track. Steam Will Rise. Talking about self-esteem and how it's really low, and self-esteem will eventually rise. Steam will rise, esteem will rise. I love this song, and I love the drum solo in it. The drum solo in it is actually a unique one, I think, for Silverchair, a drum solo. And I really, really love it. Ben did a good job, a really good job on that. I just think it pieces together really well, but it's really interesting also lyrically, and it's something you could really probably fall asleep to, just because it's kind of calm. And I give Steam Will Rise 5 out of 5 stars. So that's it. That's my amateur album review of Neon Ballroom. I actually rate Neon Ballroom 88.3%. And that's out of a possible total of 60 stars. So Neon Ballroom is my second favorite Silverchair album, my second favorite album overall. So it's a really, really good score. If you haven't already, check out Neon Ballroom. I'm pretty sure even people who aren't really interested in Silverchair will really appreciate the album. It's got a lot of orchestral elements, but it's still got a lot of rock to it and some punk. So if you're into any of those, you should at least check out a few of the songs on Neon Ballroom. And if you know, go out and buy the track or buy it online, or if you already have it, then keep listening to it because it's amazing. So stay tuned, guys, for next week's episode, which will be Diorama, my favorite album. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.